All right, let's dive right into this explainer on pharmacogenomics. Today, we're unraveling the literal genetic secrets behind how our bodies actually respond to medicine. So picture this. You've got two patients taking the exact same drug at the exact same dose. Patient A heals up perfectly, but patient B, they end up suffering severe life-threatening toxicity. No way, right? How does that even happen? Well, it's the exact same drug, but completely different outcomes. And the secret to this wild difference isn't sitting on a pharmacy shelf somewhere. It's actually hidden right there in your DNA. And that brings us to pharmacogenomics. Basically, it's the science that decodes how your completely unique genetic blueprint dictates drug absorption, metabolism, and elimination. The whole goal here is to finally ditch that old one-size-fits-all approach and instead optimize your therapy for maximum efficiency with minimal side effects. Now, a lot of this personalized processing actually happens deep inside your liver. There's this absolutely crucial family of enzymes called cytochrome P450. We're talking superstars like CYP2D6, CYP2C19, and CYP3A4. Think of them as your body's personal chemical processing plant. Together, they handle a massive percentage of the everyday medications we all take. But here's the catch. Your specific genes determine your metabolizer phenotype, which is basically just a fancy way of saying how those genes express themselves in reality. Depending on your variants, you might be a normal metabolizer, a poor metabolizer, or an ultra-rapid metabolizer. And believe me, that status completely changes how a drug behaves in your system. Just think about the mechanics for a second. If you're a poor metabolizer, the drug simply isn't broken down fast enough, so it dangerously accumulates in your bloodstream, leading straight to toxicity. But on the flip side, what if you're an ultra-rapid metabolizer? Well, it clears out so incredibly fast that it never even gets a chance to work. You're left with total treatment failure. Okay, let's ground this in some real-world clinical examples of high-stakes prescribing. Take the common blood thinner clopidogrel. It's what we call a prodrug. That means it enters your body totally inactive, and it literally requires that CYP2C19 enzyme we just talked about to switch it on. If your genetics happen to make you a poor metabolizer, the drug just stays inactive, and you are suddenly facing a highly elevated risk of cardiovascular failure.
And we see this across all fields of medicine. For instance, finding the exact safe dose of the blood thinner warfarin depends heavily on variants in your VKORC1 and CYP2C9 genes. Or take the HIV drug abacavir. It can cause a severe, life-threatening allergic reaction in patients who carry just one specific variant, HLA-B5701. I mean, literally just one gene completely shifts the entire clinical approach.
So, how do we handle this? Let's look at the global infrastructure, databases, and guidelines keeping us safe. Fortunately, doctors aren't flying blind anymore. We have the Clinical Pharmacogenetics Implementation Consortium, or CPIC. They are this massive global infrastructure racing to standardize all this data. They curate evidence-based guidelines from all around the world to turn these highly complex genetic test results into actionable, everyday prescribing rules. A real game changer for sure. Which perfectly sets the stage for the future of precision medicine and an AI-guided approach. All of this global standardization is paving the way for a massive shift, moving away from reactive medicine and toward proactive precision. We are rapidly charging toward a reality of preemptive genotyping in AI-guided healthcare. Seriously, imagine a world where your genetic profile is completely mapped out, loaded right into a secure dashboard, and ready to guide medical decisions before you ever even need a prescription. Ultimately, pharmacogenomics promises to totally replace that old, sometimes terrifying trial-and-error method of prescribing with a really simple, powerful, and life-saving mandate: the right drug at the right dose for the right patient. So I'll leave you with this to ponder. How long will it be before your DNA sequence is the absolute very first thing a doctor checks before pulling out the prescription pad?